So after decluttering all of my palettes, here is my final curated collection. Well, for now. So I got rid of 109 palettes. I decluttered them. I'm going to sort through them and give them away. These are the ones that I chose out of all of them to keep. Managed to get it down to 2 drawers, and this is what I have left. I'm just going to show you them, just watch a couple of them. I wasn't sure the best way to do it, lift them all out the drawer. Or these are mainly high-end luxury eyeshadow palettes. I haven't even properly used half of them. So by cutting them all down, hopefully now I can just appreciate more of what I've got and actually play with them. Now I can actually see what I've got. All of these drawers were just ram-packed full. These 9 Alex drawers were just chock-a-block full of palettes. So to get them down to 2 drawers is brilliant, and I'm over the moon. So lift these out and see what we've got. Sorry, I'm having to do a voiceover. I did record it, but the audio wasn't really good on it, so I am doing a voiceover instead. I tell you, when you do a declutter and curate your collection, it just makes you realise how much money you've not wasted on eyeshadow. Well, yeah, wasted. I've actually got rid of 109 palettes, but just how much money you spent on product that there's no way you could get through. Even with the 31 palettes that I ended up keeping, I would never get through those, never. So, I mean, I did or do collect eyeshadow palettes. I'm a collector. People collect stamps. I collect eyeshadows. But they bring me so much joy. I absolutely love eyeshadow palettes. So, yeah, I like watching these types of videos. Don't judge me on the money that I've spent on eyeshadow. I get it. I understand. It's a lot of money. But, yeah. With my eyeshadow palettes that I used to store just out of the boxes, the formulas dried out quicker and they'd turn powdery and unusable. Since I've started storing them all in the actual boxes, they last a hell of a lot better. So, first up is my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Now, I don't like any of Morphe's palettes. I don't like any of Morphe's products. None of them work for me. But this palette I absolutely love. I love the formula of these shadows. If you cover that top corner, it just looks a boring neutral palette. But it's got a few pops of colours. The shimmers are so creamy. The mattes are blendable. The layer well. It's a really nice palette. So just going to swatch a couple of them. I'm not very good swatches. I've got bony hands, sorry. The pinks are beautiful. That Sissy and Little Lady are gorgeous. And they apply just as well as the swatch here. They are really, they last well on the eyes. It's out of all my palettes, it's definitely in my top 10. Definitely highly recommend this palette. It's a great palette to travel with. You can create so many looks from this Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Brilliant. But just to add, I do not support Jaclyn Hill or Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics now, especially after this with the lipsticks. Definitely not. Do not support that brand whatsoever. So I will be using this and getting rid of it. I'm actually surprised I kept it, but there's a couple of shades in there that I do really enjoy. If you're a beginner with eyeshadows, this is definitely a great palette for beginners. It's so easy to work with, so easy to blend. Definitely a great all-rounder palette. Some of my favourite shades in the palette is SBN, Obsessed, Sissy, Little Lady, Pool Party. I like Hunts, Buns. I like all the warmer tones and the reds. So overall, I absolutely love this palette. So next up we have, just put these lipsticks in. These are just some Pat McGrath lipsticks. Speaking of these are apps. I'll just show you these quickly. These Pat McGrath lipsticks, I think they're £38 each. But that one on the left is the Illamasqua. Those lipsticks are absolutely, they're unbelievable. Right, they're expensive for a lipstick. I understand, I get it. But these lipsticks are like no other. I mean, look at the packaging. Packaging is gorgeous. Everything from Pat McGrath comes. Pat McGrath Labs. they spare no expense when it comes to packaging. This is like a deep red wine colour. It's the Luxe Trans formula, so it's more like a creamy formula. Absolutely gorgeous. They just stay on the lips for so long. The other one, that shade's Exotica, the one I'm putting away here, and this one is the Matte Trans formula, and it's in the shade Peep Show. Absolutely beautiful nude. It's like a peachy nude, but it's a matte formula, and it's once you put it on the lips, it stays on. You can eat, drink, kiss, and it will not budge. Absolutely unreal, these lipsticks. I cannot stress to you enough just how gorgeous they are. Look how cute the packaging is. My gosh, dropping it. But yeah, this is one of my favourites. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a little bit like MAC Shy Girl mixed with Cream Cup or Blankety. Gorgeous. I like the matte formula. And this other one is just Illamasqua. The Illamasqua lipsticks are quite underrated. They're £20 each, but you can pick them up on offer and you can get them for cheaper. This is in the shade Cosmic Girl, and it's just like a cool toned soft baby pink. So creamy, and the formula is it's really nice and lightweight. It's not sticky. It doesn't fade. It feels nice to apply. Opaque in one swipe. Really nice. Anyway, back to the eyeshadow palettes. So, but yeah, definitely if you can pick up one of those Illamasqua lipsticks, and if you can get one in the sale or on offer somewhere or something, definitely highly recommend them. The Pat McGrath are the best, but they're really expensive. Sometimes she does them in gift sets of 3. I'm not sure. I think they're about £80 or something. This shouldn't even be in here. It's just the Benefit Cheek Parade. It's got Hoola and Hoola Light. I actually like mixing those two. And it's got the California blush, which is like a corally, pinky, peachy. It's really pretty. I know you cannot swatch blushes, but it's a really nice shade. And this is Dandelion, which I know is not going to swatch because of my skin tone, but that I like sweeping that all over the face. It's a really nice, healthy. And this one's Rocketeer, which is like a rose gold, and it's got a slight sheen. Absolutely gorgeous. I love Rocketeer. It's one of my favourite Benefit blushes. I just wish that packaging wasn't so bulky, but yeah. Next up, now, I absolutely love this palette. It's the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. Now, this didn't get great reviews, but look how cute this packaging is. Absolutely love the packaging of this. It's got 21 shades in it. It's mainly, for me, I call it a lid palette because I just use it for shades all across the lid. But I kept it because it's a full colour palette, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I think the shades do need to be built up, and I think that's probably why it didn't get great reviews. But I prefer palettes that you can build up and not just boom, full on colour straight away. This blue, if you mix this blue, it looks like pastel. If you use it with a dry brush, it's normal, but with a wet brush, it is the most gorgeous blue or green duochrome. That black is gorgeous as well. I'm just going to swatch a couple. This orange is Jones, and we'll swatch Goldmine, the gold. Absolutely. See, when you put them on one stroke, they're like a shimmer, but they can be built up to full intensity. Use these with a wet brush, and they are unreal. They really foil well, and I have to do this green. This green is gorgeous. I love it. I love the dark blue minks. I love it. And even the mattes in it are great. That white bump, the white matte is a nice shade. That orange warning is one of my favourites. You can get a pretty neutral look out this palette as well, believe it or not. But that yellow Calavera it's a yellow matte. It is really vibrant, and see there, it's one layer, it's just normal, and then you can build it up. Gorgeous, absolutely. I do love this palette. I know some people love it, some people hate it. I actually love it. I like the mirror on it. I like how the magnet on it is really strong, and it's just steady, sturdy, secure packaging. And I think I've had this now for about a year and a half, and the quality of the shadows, it still hasn't changed or anything. It's phenomenal. Love it. Just trying to clean some of these swatches off my hands so I can swatch a few more for you guys. So yeah, I keep them all in. I know it's a faff on getting all your palettes out of the boxes and putting them back in the packaging, but they do last a hell of a lot better when you store them in the packaging. So next up we have Zoeva, one of the most underrated brands ever. I think people are put off by them because they're in Germany, but they're a lot more accessible now. This is the Cocoa Blend, which is their most famous palette. It's like, overall I'd say it's a warm tone palette, but it does have some cool tones at the right hand side, like the purple, and that white matte shade is great for highlighting and setting the lid, but that red warm notes and the gold pure ganache, they're absolutely stunning. Two of my favourite shades. Even the mattes, that brown and the warm reddy colour, absolutely gorgeous, and they blend beautifully. The formula quite reminds me of the Viseart formula. It's very, very light on the eyes. Look at that red warm notes, gorgeous. But this next one, Pure Ganache, is stunning. This one, oh, they're so soft and creamy to touch. Look at that, look at that. These palettes are like 20 quid. 20 quid for this. The quality is insane. Highly recommend them. Look at that. Definitely a standout shade in the palette, that Pure Ganache. I'd buy this palette again just for that one shade. Gorgeous. I still need to play with this a little bit more, but it's one that's pretty new to my collection. It's one of the late, I think this one and the Deuce palette are the last two that I've added. So I do need to play with it a bit more and show it some love, but definitely impressed with the quality of Zoeva eyeshadows. Been wanting to try them for quite a while and never got round to it, but they have got some interesting palettes, so I'll definitely hope to pick up some more. Putting it back in his little wrapper. So next we have, get rid of some more of these swatches off my hand. I'm having to wipe them off with tissue. Let's address the elephant in the room. Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture. The palette that caused so much drama in the beauty community. I absolutely love this palette, hence why I've kept it. And 109 palettes have been decluttered, and this made the cut. I love this palette. Now, it's definitely not for beginners. I love this shade Roxy. It is gorgeous. Now, watch the pigment on this. Look at that. Bam. That pigment is no joke. I love this green shade Electric. Now, it does need to be built up, so I will have to swatch it a couple of times to build it up to the desired level, but it is a beautiful shade. Look at those two together, Electric and Roxy. Absolutely stunning on the eye. Definitely not a palette for beginners because it's so difficult to work with, but if you put in the time with this palette and you can spend some time blending the shadows properly and not rushing it, you get some beautiful looks. Some of those deeper shades, I think this is for me, it's an autumn palette. You get some gorgeous deep eye looks for autumn, but you can get some neutral everyday looks. So, but look at that, Electric. Absolutely love this palette. Again, I think this palette is like Marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it. I love it. But overall, Anastasia Beverly Hills do make some of my favourite formula eyeshadows. They're just, I know they're powdery and you get a lot of kick up on the brush, but they are just so easy to work with and they practically blend themselves. The formula is amazing. This Modern Renaissance palette is, yeah, it's in my top 10. Absolutely love it. This is again such an easy palette for anyone. I was going to pan this one. That Real Guy, I love all the berry tones in it and that warm taupe and Bon Fresco, but my favourite shade in the palette has to be, I love Tempera, but has to be Vermeer. Absolutely stunning on the eyes. I love it. Absolutely. You wear that lid shade with any eye look and it just looks gorgeous. They don't crease. They just look so smooth on the eye. If you've got mature eyelids, this palette is great because their shimmers and metallics do not accentuate texture. They don't make your lids look wrinkly. You can actually wear shimmers and metallics and they look smooth. And I mean, look at that. Primavera, absolutely gorgeous. Look how that applies. Gorgeous. Yeah, definitely a start. I can definitely see why Modern Renaissance was a standout palette for everyone and just so many people's favourite palettes. I was late to the game with Modern Renaissance, but if I lost this palette, I would definitely repurchase it. Definitely love it. Back in its little box it goes. Next up we have Urban Decay Naked Heat Palette. So this for me is the best naked palette that they come out with, definitely. I actually got this one I won it in a giveaway from a lovely YouTuber. So, but absolutely love this palette. These shades, I love the shades, but the formula is definitely, I've got a load of Urban Decay. This is the best Urban Decay formula that they've ever used. These mattes are so soft. They blend beautifully. Some people say you can't get like many different looks. I disagree. If you use just one of the lighter shades and one of the darker ones, you can get different looks. See, like that purple, you can have it dark or you can blend it out so it goes lighter. But there's some unique shades in here. This shade here is my favourite, Lumbra. It is, it's divine. Such a wearable, easy, everyday look. It just looks stunning. It goes with anything, but it is such a unique shade. I tried to dupe it in my collection and I couldn't find anything even remotely similar. I just love Lumbra. Gorgeous. This next shade is Scorched. This is a standout shade for me. Look at that. Look at that. And they actually apply like this as well. Beautiful. It's like a rose goldy. Oh, I love it. And swatched a couple of the mattes. Low Blow. These are beautiful, these mattes. Some of them don't swatch too great, but they apply on the eyes just stunning. I mean, look at that. They are so soft to the touch. One of the softest shadows that I've got to the touch. They are gorgeous. And for me, one of the standout shades in this palette is Ember, this very end one. It's such a unique shade. It's like a deep brown, but it's got like a purpley duochrome to it. It is stunning. Look at that. I know the lighting just does not do it justice, but that shade is, if they made a palette all of that formula, I'd definitely buy it. It is gorgeous. Love that. I actually decluttered my Naked 1, Naked 2, Naked 3 and Naked Smoky. I didn't like the quality of any of those, but Naked Heat, absolutely fantastic quality. So next is, it's a little quad from Unique. Now, I kept this, the shadows in it, the mattes, remind me of like Natasha Denona quality. I don't like that shimmer Alive, didn't like that at all. But these, Gingerly Fervent and Gullible. I mean, look how these swatch. I mean, these mattes are honestly amazing quality for Unique. These are a little hidden gem. The mattes of them. I mean, look at those three swatches, and they apply beautifully. I'm definitely going to pick up some more matte shadows from Unique. These are, I mean, they're £45 for that little quad, but the quality is insane. That's just a little NARS cheek palette with blushes and highlight. This, Urban Decay Naked Basics, this is a little hidden gem. Great all-round palette. I normally use this to build any base eye look and then use shimmers over the top. I surprisingly reach for this a lot. You've got your demi matte, and then you've got like a yellow base, you've got a pink base, you've got your light and mid-tone brown, and then you've got a black. And the black, it's actually really good quality, that black. I think it's called Blackout, but yeah, fantastic little palette. I could use some of them on the brows. I was going to pan this, but Urban Decay shadows take forever to pan because they're so firmly pressed in the pans. So I'm not too sure that I want to pan it now. Sorry for the camera going off. So next we have NARS loaded palette. This is insane. So every single time I would buy nice eyeshadows, I didn't like them, but I'd keep buying them because I was thinking, oh, they changed the formula. They did keep saying they changed the formula, it's a new formula. So I keep buying them, and the singles, I didn't like them. But then they released this. I actually nearly never bought it. Look at that peach, for you. It is gorgeous. Anyway, I bought this. I was shocked. They had brought a new formula out, and this palette is insane. I use those browns on the eyebrows. The shimmers and the metallics are stunning. That brown's a little, over everything else in the palette, it's a little bit chalky, but it does apply really nice to the eyes. This palette is, honestly, it's amazing. That cream is great for all over the lid. These are shimmers, and there's 6 shimmers and metallics and 6 mattes, but it is so, I mean, it looks a boring palette, but it really isn't boring at all. Those are your mattes, those 6. I'm going to swatch some of them for you, but this palette, I'd say, is definitely in my top 5. I absolutely love it. It's so underrated. I know a lot of people did love it, but I think at this point, a lot of people, like me, they'd given up on NARS eyeshadows and were just fed up with the quality. For what you pay for them, the quality wasn't there, but with this, it is. I mean, this palette was, I mean, look at that. Newsbury Street, and that's called Castile. That is gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Anyway, as I was saying, it was £55, this palette, and for me, definitely £55 well spent. Would I repurchase this palette? Absolutely, I would. I love it. I'd definitely take this palette travelling with me if I went somewhere. Again, you can create so many looks with this palette. Definitely a hidden little gem for me. Love it. And that's the NARS Loaded palette. Those 2 metallics at the bottom, they apply beautiful with a dry brush, which not all metallics do, but these do. But you get them wet and they are like liquid gold. They just foil beautifully. I love that silvery shade in the bottom left corner. But that, I think my favourite is the peach foil in the middle row on the left. But I'm just going to swatch a couple of these. These are gorgeous. And it, again, for you just think like the normal shades, but I don't have anything like these 2 in my collection at all. Anything, not even anything remotely similar. And when you look up at them close, they've got like little tiny pigments of colour in them. And when I say colour, I mean like little glittery shimmers, but it's so minute you can barely see it, but it just gives the look a nice dimension on the eye. I mean, the swatches aren't doing them justice, but they are really beautiful. Sorry, I know I'm just buzzing over this palette, but it is gorgeous. If you can get hold, I'm not sure if it's limited edition or, I don't think it is. I think it's permanent. But if you can get a chance to pick this up, the NARS Narcissist Loaded palette, highly recommend it. Out of all my palettes, it's definitely one I would recommend to anyone, beginners, people who are advanced in makeup art. It is absolutely a great overall palette, and the quality is insane. The only way I can describe it is the shadows are like velvet. They're like actual velvet. Next, we have Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership Subversive La Vie en Rose, and the packaging on these is, I love the package. Some people aren't a fan of the packaging, but it's like cardboard packaging. It opens up, you get a really large, good quality mirror. I think these are about £60 each, but the quality of these shadows is phenomenal. These 2, I'm going to swatch some of them for you. The 2 mattes, they don't swatch great at all. When I swatched these, I was like, uh-oh. But on the eyes, they apply really well. I love this pale gold, I think it's called, peach. It's like a peachy, pinky duochrome. I'm swatching it over my wrist bone, so you can't really see, sorry. But again, a beautiful shade. This Purple Rain is gorgeous. The quality of these shadows, I mean, this is such a colourful palette for Pat McGrath. But for me, the one standout shade in this whole palette has to be this gold. This gold, it's just like liquid gold, and this is dry with a dry finger or dry brush. And have a look how I mean, it just feels so soft in the pan, buttery soft. Watch when I swatch it. I'm going to do a full swatch. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. Are you looking at that? Look at that. That is like liquid metal when you apply it. It's like liquid gold. Absolutely stunning. And they are so reflective on the eye. Definitely, I would buy this palette again just for that one shade. It is gorgeous. Packages sometimes a little fiddly to get them elastic round, but I was thinking of depotting them, but I daren't. I know me I'll break them. I tried to depot my Natasha Denona and I ended up cracking the shadows. So speaking of Natasha Denona, next up we have one of my favourites, the Tropic palette. So she changed the formula with this one. Some people liked it, some didn't. Personally, I loved it. There's nothing wrong with this palette. Okay, there's 2 shades that are a little difficult, but I love this palette. And it's such a beautiful palette for spring and summer. I love that mint crisp, that mint. That is gorgeous. The ones that are difficult is the dark green and the dark blue, which is, I forget the names. But there's the mattes in here are her usual gorgeous quality. Some of the best mattes in the world. That blue is stunning, absolutely stunning, and it goes on the lid, that colour. It's like a really bright, vibrant electric blue. I love that Lemon Sillo and Gusty. Some people have problems with them, but I didn't. These browns are great for everyday, like everyday normal eyeshadow, and look at the quality of these. So she calls them creamy mattes, and they really are soft and creamy, and they just blend so well, they layer so well. But the best thing is they've got anti-aging ingredients in them, so they do actually help if you've got mature eyelids. They don't wrinkle, they don't crease, they stay on the lids all day, and I mean all day. That peach puff is gorgeous. It's a bit like Roxy from Subculture palette. But yeah, such an easy palette to work with, and definitely for me one of my favourite palettes ever. Absolutely love it, and I prefer this packaging with the holes in, so you can pop them out, put them in a Z palette if you choose. One of my favourite Natasha palettes. I mean, I've got all of her palettes, but I love the Tropic palette. Next up we have Viseart. Some people call it Viseart, but it's Viseart. And I have 4 of them. I have got the neutral mattes, I've got the warm mattes, I've got the editorials, and I've got the dark mattes. This, if you ask any eyeshadow lover their favourite palette, everybody chooses this in their top 5 or top 3. Or this is such a great little palette. This is in the new packaging, this one. This is my second one. I absolutely love this. And like, these eyeshadows are expensive. I mean, they're £60 odd pounds each, £68 something each, but they are so worth it. Such a lightweight formula, so easy to use. The colours actually stay separate on the lid, so you can see like the different colours. They don't blend into a muddy mess. Such a lightweight formula and so easy to use. This one, which is the warm matte, surprising, I actually love this palette. Some people think, oh, a lot of the shades in it are similar, but in the pans they look similar. I love those 3 bright colours. Like, you might think, do you need like 2 of those the same, or do you need like those 2 the same, or like those 2? But the difference is they've all got different undertones, and on the eye they all look different. Love that orangey colour, love that cream to set the lid, and this is just a really good palette. Absolutely love it. I like that. It's like a wine. It's like a pinky winey colour. It's really pretty. Again, this one's in the new packaging. I much prefer the new packaging. So the next one is in the old packaging, which is the dark mattes. Now, I actually wasn't going to pick this one up, but I've seen a lot of people saying how good it was, so I decided to get it. And you've got your light brown, your dark brown, your light red, your dark red, your light orange, your dark orange, your light green, your dark green, your blue and purple. this palette for me, I absolutely love it. It's been many a times I've done an eye look and I come and get this palette to finish it off and deepen the look. If you haven't got those dark shades, your eye look just doesn't look right. This to me is such a necessary palette. Now looking at it, you wouldn't think it is, but it's surprising the amount of times I've needed to deepen an eye look with a certain colour and I haven't had that colour, and I'm like, yeah, it's in the Viseart Dark Matte, and I grab that palette and yeah, it finishes the look. Definitely a necessary palette for me. This one I absolutely love. Now, I nearly got rid of it. Not this one. It was either between this or my Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. But I decided to keep both because this one's mattes and the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette is shimmers, metallics mainly. So I figured with the both of them, I'm pretty well covered. But this palette is great. The colours actually... They actually mix and make different colours. They layer beautifully, so bright and vibrant, and they don't just fluff away to nothing. They last on the eyes. So like if you mix the red and the yellow, you'll actually get orange. If you mix like the blue and the green, you'll actually get purple. Whereas other eyeshadows, if you mix the colours, they don't mix well and they won't make another colour. But these actually, when you mix them, they do make the colour that you want. And that white is amazing. Really good quality palette. If you're a makeup artist, I highly recommend this Viseart Editorial Bright as your colourful palette, because that'll be all you'll need along with your other palettes. That is the only colourful palette that you would need. Definitely worth the money and definitely an investment if you're a makeup artist. But you can see why they use these. It's a professional makeup. They use it in like TVs and film sets, and I can definitely see why. But with those four, you'd be covered. You've got your warm mattes, your neutral mattes, your dark mattes, and your editorial brights. With those four, you wouldn't need anything else. Next up is, this shouldn't be in here, Aurora Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora Glow Kit, but it's in here because I actually use these as eyeshadows. These are great for inner corner highlights, like just a bright pop of colour on the lid in the very, very centre. And some of them are a little bit too glittery, like Orion and Lyra. I love Helia and Luna. I quite love this little palette. And speaking of glow kits, it probably is one of my favourites. I love my Sugar Glow Kit, but I do like the Aurora. I had the Moonchild, but I've just decluttered that one. This one, this is probably my favourite Anastasia Glow Kit. This is the Sugar Glow Kit. It's got marshmallow, gumdrop, butterscotch and starburst. Now when I had my Sweets Glow Kit, it had starburst in this one, which was my absolute favourite, but because it was limited edition and you couldn't get it, I stopped using it because I was scared I would run out. So anyway, they released this palette, and sure enough, what was in it? Starburst. So I bought it and now I can use it again. But I absolutely love this. If you've got pale skin like me, you can wear all of these shades. I mean, butterscotch, sometimes maybe it could be a little bit too dark for my skin in winter, but in the summer I can use it. I absolutely love them all. You've got marshmallow, which is like a white gold, gumdrop, which is the new shade top right, which is like it's like a gold with a pink reflect. You've got butterscotch, which is just the gold, and starburst, which is like a pinky peachy gold, and it's stunning. I know the swatches aren't doing it justice, but these highlighters do not show any texture or wrinkles or lines on the skin at all, and they layer beautifully. You can mix these shades and make some different unique highlights of your own. Such a great little palette overall. Absolutely love it. I think it's £40-something, which it sounds a lot, but it works out like £10 something per pan, and the pans are huge, and you can remove them. They're magnetic, so you can put them in a little Z palette. Definitely recommend it if you can pick it up. This is the, oh, it shouldn't be in here, Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit. Next up is, this is, I don't even know why I've kept this at the minute. Well, I've got it because it's the newest. Can't even get it open. It's the newest to my collection. It's a little Douce Freematic eyeshadow quad, and these are like little magnetic and they move up and down. You can, like, magnets, so you can pop them in or out of the pan. Now this is, I think it was 26 or 28 pound, and this is why I'm not too happy. I mean, they're okay, I guess, but 28 pound, 26 pound for this, the Sun Chaser palette. I mean, it's okay, I guess, but I mean, look at the swatch. I mean, where's the pigment? Where is the pigment? I mean, I've only used it once. I only had a quick little go of it. I need to try it again, but yeah, I'm not too sure about this palette. Definitely have to try it again and see, but I'll probably give it away to somebody. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. So next is oh, my baby Natasha Denona Sunset palette. But you ready? It's broken. Wah, wah, wah. I broke it. You see that? The yellow. That's one of my favourite yellows ever. I need to repress it. It's started making a mess all over the palette already. This palette is stunning. So it's £129, but these shadows are just phenomenal. I love that shade. That's like a rosy gold. Watch this one. Sunburst. Look at that. Look at that. These are so high shine, and they apply beautifully. No fallout. I've mixed it with the wrong. I put my finger in Mandarin. I still had the other shadow on my finger. That's like a duochrome, but these shadows are so pretty. Every time I wear this, I get comments. Every time. But the mattes in this palette, the creamy mattes, are some of the best mattes that she's ever made. I love that pink, peachy Bermuda. But that red Panjin and the yellow Sol, those are fantastic. This, overall, it's a warm tone palette because it's got the oranges and everything's warm toned in it. But you can get some really nice everyday neutral eye looks. This palette was limited edition and everybody tried to get it and they could never ever ever get their hands on it. She managed to release some more. Again, it's sold out. Nobody could get their hands on it, so she brought it out again. Everybody goes mad for this palette. It is so popular. Everybody wanted it. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit because it's a right mess. I need to repress that yellow before it ends up damaging the rest of the shadows and getting stuck in all the shimmers. I tried to pop them out of the foam packaging, foam magnetic packaging, and the shadows are that soft in them, it just broke. I nearly cried when it happened. Nearly cried. I mean, nearly cried, real tears, can you believe? But yeah, so I'm going to leave that and make a right mess of it. So, but yeah, this is definitely my top 2 or 3 favourite palettes. I absolutely love this palette. If I could only pick 2 of my eyeshadow palettes to use for the rest of my life, I'd definitely choose this. Absolutely love, 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 love it. Back in his little box. She should stick with this formula because it's such a winner, such a winning formula. Everything about that palette is amazing. I love every single shade. This is the Natasha Denona Lila palette. This is a purple palette that she made. Such unique shades in this palette. Those mattes are so... I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes in this. The rest are shimmers. But they are so creamy and blendable. That shade there, Cyclone, is stunning. I love Junia, Dragon Bite, Helio. Oh, such unique shades in this palette. Like nothing else in my collection that I own. Nothing. Everything is so unique. And that is what I love about this palette. The high shine. There's such unique shifts to them. This is like it's got a warm base, but it's got green. I mean, you can't really see it in the video, but it's got like green. It's a bit like MAC Blue Brown. It's got like a green shift to it. Such a unique shade. And every time I wear this, people always say, oh, love your eyeshadow. Look, what's on your eyes? And it's always one of the Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath palettes when people comment, or Steeler, Magnificent Metals. But yeah, absolutely love. Oh, this shouldn't even be in here, this one. But actually, I do sometimes use a couple of these on the eyes. This is the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Highlight Palette. And I got it in the shade O2 Citrus. Now, the top row is creams and the bottom row is powders. This was made with real diamonds. It is expensive, but it's so worth it. Now, I use the yellow on the eyes and I use the far left, like the peachy one. That blush is gorgeous. It's like the powder blush. It's really nice on its own, but if you wear it with the cream bit blush first, it is gorgeous. But that bottom left one is stunning. It's like real diamonds on the skin. But that glow bit, I think it's called a Pro Glow base or something. It's like a peachy, orangey. It is gorgeous. It's really pretty. It reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills, Vermeer and Primavera. It's like that same formula, which is really forgiving to mature eyelids. I mean, look at that yellow. Look at that glow. That is blinding. It doesn't apply like that on the cheeks. If you put your highlight on and just a touch of that, it just gives it such a unique shift. But I absolutely love those two. On the eyes, they are gorgeous. And I love this pink packaging. I love the packaging. I mean, look how blinding they are. Such high shine. That yellowy, greeny is such a unique shade. I don't have anything else like that. Anything else. Look at my arm getting covered in swatches here. I was only going to swatch one or two. But I just sit swatching on my eyeshadows. I just love them. Look at those mattes. Gorgeous. That's from the Unique Quad. They're beautiful. But yeah. I wonder what they'd be like if you mix them. Mix the orange with the greeny, yellowy. I wonder if it would go like lime or yellow or... Yeah, gorgeous. I'm just going to mix them and see what they'll go like. Look at the shine on those. Oh, it's going like a lemony, yellowy, goldy type colour. Gorgeous. Anything from Natasha Denona just stands out. Everything is so expensive. So expensive. It is luxury makeup. But everything is just amazing quality and just so different and unique on the eyes and on the skin. Everything she touches like turns to gold. And you can see why people in the makeup community just love Natasha Denona products. She's definitely my favourite brand. I love Viseart and I love Pat McGrath, but I think my heart lies with Natasha Denona. They are the most forgiving eyeshadows for textured, mature eyelids. And these are my babies. These are my Pat McGrath eyeshadow palettes. This drawer is like my glitter drawer. It's got my Pat McGrath and my Steeler. I've got glitter all over. This one is the Mothership one. I think it's subliminal. Subliminal, I'm not sure. But packaging on these is gorgeous. Now, I don't even know if it's going to do it justice, but the shades in here are... Those are the mattes. Absolutely amazing. But the four at the top right are the special shades. They're absolutely stunning. Look at the duochrome on those. Look at the way the light catches them. Look at the shift and the change. This gold here is dry. It is gorgeous. But with a wet brush, I'm not even joking. It is actual like liquid gold. Watch this. I'm just going to get some more, but that is gorgeous. Such a gorgeous shift on them. This is a beautiful shade. This is just one swipe swatch, but when you build this up, oh, they are stunning. And you know the best thing about her special shades, the base on them is, they've got no base, so you can layer them over any colour eyeshadow that you want. I mean, look at that. Absolutely. Oh, me cooing over my eyeshadows. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't even know you'd be able to see properly on the camera, especially with the bad lighting, but look at those. Look at the sparkle and the shine. They are, and they apply like that on the eye too. They are gorgeous. Really, really worth the money. If anyone asks, a Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona worth the money? Yes, they are. These are £125 for one palette, these ones. Definitely worth the money. Expensive, but you definitely get what you pay for, like anything in life. And the quality is there. Pat McGrath, she's never released anything bad. Every single thing that I've had from Pat McGrath Labs and Natasha Denona has been outstanding. This is the Mothership 2 Sublime, the warmer tone one. So if you like your cool tones, I'm not going to tip this up. I need to be careful because a couple of the pans have come loose. You don't expect that with a £125 eyeshadow palette. You don't expect the pans to come out, but a couple of them have come loose. So, I mean, I'll show you. I don't want to tip it up, and you can hear them when you tip it up, and then they fall back in. So, but yeah. So this is the Mothership 2. Like I said, it's just it's like warmer tones. So if you like cool tones, go for number 1. And if you like your warmer tones, the number 2. Sorry, my cat just sneezed. Number 2. So again, you've got your 6 at this end. And then at the far side, again, you've got your 4 special shades. So in all of her palettes, she puts a black in the left corner, except in number 5. And there's only 2 mattes, I think, in this one. 2 mattes, 2 shimmers. Sorry, 2 mattes, 3 shimmers. Sorry, 2 mattes, 3 shimmers, 1 metallic. And, yeah, the 4 special shades. That's right. But the special shades are stunning. I'm going to swatch the green and the gold. This gold is gorgeous. And this pink is beautiful as well. Really standout shades. Again, I have nothing like these in my collection. Nothing like them. I mean, look at that. Look at that gold. That's the pink. This is the gold. And I swatched it on top of the other one a bit. But you can see that. Look at that. They are gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. These palettes just bring me so much joy. Every time I get these out and play with them, I just get so happy. They just bring me so much joy. If I had no palettes and just my Pat McGrath ones, I would be a happy girl for the rest of my life, because these eyeshadows are absolutely beautiful. Anytime I have eyeshadow on and someone comments, I guarantee I'll be wearing Pat McGrath. Anytime. I can never wear Pat McGrath and somebody not comment on my eyes. That says it all for me. I mean, look at that green. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. How many times have I said gorgeous and stunning and beautiful? If you apply this one with a dry brush, the black base in it tends to show more. But when you apply this green with a wet brush, more of the actual green shows. So definitely I prefer to use the green with a wet brush. It just looks more vibrant and colourful. But yeah, I really enjoy. Out of all of them, I haven't used this one as much as the others, which I'm surprised at, because looking at them all, I thought this would have been the one I'd use the most, because I do love my warm tones and oranges and golds and shades like that. So I'm quite surprised to see that I reach for number 1 more than this one, which is the cool tone one, the one with the blue. The only thing that I don't like about these is there's no shades. There's no, the palettes aren't labelled. I mean, I was going to cut this out with the shade names and put them on the bottom. I won't tip it up because the shadow's loose. But if you had all of these black palettes, like in your drawer, you wouldn't know which one's which, because there's no label or no marking on any of them. It's my only criticism with these palettes. Look at this packaging. Look at that. Look at the artwork on them. It is stunning. Yeah, really enjoy my Pat McGrath palettes. So this one, this is my baby. I mean, look at this packaging. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. I just love this palette. You can create so many looks with this. It is such a beautiful, cohesive, unique palette. It is so special. I absolutely, if I could only recommend one Pat McGrath palette, I would recommend this one or number one, probably this one. Look at those shades. You can even see it from here. I don't know if you can see the duochrome, but how beautiful is that? How gorgeous is that? But look at the shifts on them. This palette is so unique. I absolutely love it. I don't know if the camera's doing this justice, if you can see, but I'll try and so you can see the shift on the colours, but absolutely beautiful. I'm going to swatch some of these for you now. She has that's your Skin Show Nude Glow. Those browns are beautiful. She has a black in every palette. This one's got a deep plum. It's like a really pretty colour, and overall it goes so well with the palette. That's a really beautiful shade. This gold is gorgeous, and that pink, that red is unbelievable. I'm going to swatch this red. This red is no joke. Have a look at this. This red is stunning, and I'm going to swatch the other one next to it. It's like a yellowy, goldy. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Sorry, I'm way off the camera. But, yeah, so here's the red. Look at that. So smooth. Sorry, it looks a bit chunky there. That was my fault how I picked it up. Look at that. And they apply so smooth and beautiful like this. And this is the gold one. I mean, and the good thing is they can actually be just tapped over lightly, so you can get a bit of dimension on any eye look, or you can build them up to full opacity so they are full on, bang, glittery, shimmery, beautiful, high shine, gorgeous, standout shades. Absolutely love them. And then this gold is absolutely beautiful, and we'll do the pink. This pink, this is probably one of my favourites in the whole palette. So here's the gold. Again, Pat McGrath does gold so well. With a wet brush, they're like liquid gold. And look at that rose gold. I think it's called Rose Gold 005. Look at that pinky goldy. Beautiful, stunning colours in this palette. I said the rose gold was one of my favourites in the palette. I would say that about the red as well. But this greeny one is probably one of my favourites in the palette as well. This is such a unique shade. Look at that. It's like the green in the Natasha Denona Gold palette. It's a bit similar to that. Look at that though. That is so unique and special, and oh, I just love it. Look at all these swatches on my arms. This palette for me, I'd buy this over and over and over again. I'd buy it every single time. Absolutely love it. Definitely worth the money. Yes, they're an investment. Yes, they're expensive, but they're a treat. Some people go out on a weekend and piss 100 quid up the wall in booze. I don't do that. I don't drink. So to me, I'd rather buy an eyeshadow palette like this, and at least I've got something to show for my money, and something that brings me so much joy. Like them Stila Magnificent Metals. They're expensive. They're £24 for one. But again, I just sit and swatch them on my arms and on my eyes, and they bring me so much happiness and joy. I absolutely love them. This drawer makes me so happy with these palettes and my Stila. I just love them. I can't say it enough times to you. Highly recommend them. May as well just swatch some of these eyeshadows while we're here. Seeing other eyeshadows. This one is Rose Gold Retro. Such a pretty shade. It's quite a popular one. It's like the name suggests, it's a rose gold. But look at that. Such high shine these. And they look beautiful on the eyes. Everybody tries to copy and dupe the Stila, and nobody has even come close. I think the ones that have come closest are the Pixie ones, which are like 12 quid. That's I think that's smouldering satin, sorry. This one's one of my favourites. It's called Sea Siren. I mean, all mine are full size. I do have a couple of the smaller ones. I actually wish I'd bought the smaller ones because they won't dry out as quick. All mine are mainly full size. This is Sea Siren. Actually, looks like that shade from the Pat McGrath Mothership one. The dimensions and the colour shifts in it are pretty identical to that Sea Siren. This was one of the limited edition Steeler from the summer collection last year. They brought out Sea Siren, Sea Cove and Into the Blue, and they are all gorgeous. I've just decluttered 2 of them. They were dried, but these are gorgeous. I love this one. It's called Freedom, and again, it's such a unique shade. It's like a minty, turquoisey, aqua colour, and it looks so pretty on. Let me look at that. It looks so pretty on the eyelid. I know the video's not doing it justice because of the lighting, but yeah, another one of my favourites is Diamond Dust, and this one's Kitten. I've got Kitten and I've got Kitten Karma. This one's one of the glitter and glows, not the shimmer and glows. The glitter and glows have got more glitter in, and the shimmer and glows are the same formula but without the glitter. So it's just like a smooth, high shine formula. I do like both of them. I like them for different things. But this is their most famous shade, Kitten Karma. Everyone loves Kitten Karma. It's like a champagne-y, goldy. It's really pretty. And I've got Plum On. I've got Pigalle, which is a red, which is, I mean, that red is gorgeous. That's a shimmer and glow. And one of my favourites is Diamond Dust, which is that one. And then I've got Smoky Storm, Smouldering Satin. Jezebel, that's a shimmer and glow. That is gorgeous. It's like a peachy colour. It is really pretty. So, yeah. So, anyway. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go. So, now I've got my collection down and I've got rid of 109 palettes. I'm going to pull out 2 palettes every week, and if there's anything in these that I don't love after I've played with them for the month, then I'm going to probably give them away to someone on my channel. I mean, I can see there's some in here straight away that I could probably get rid of, but like I said, a couple of them are new purchases. I haven't had time to play with them yet, so I'm not too sure. I just feel a lot better now that I've actually whittled it all down, and I can now actually see what's in my Alex drawers, and I can see what I want to pull out, and I can have time to give each one of these palettes a proper chance and play with it and ask myself at the end if I still love it or not. And yeah, it's just nice to curate your collection down, and to the point that the only palettes that you're left with at the end are the ones that just bring you so much joy. I mean, a lot of these in here do just make me so happy and bring me so much joy. So, yeah, I am super excited to now be able to see what I've got and play with them. So, sorry this video has been so long. 58 minutes and counting. I didn't think it'd be this long. I should have maybe just whizzed through them without doing swatches, but I had to show some swatches because they just didn't do them justice showing the palettes. You have to see how pretty some of these palettes swatch. I mean, look at these on my arm. Some of these are my favourite eyeshadows ever. Definitely for me, standout shades has to be this end, which is the Natasha Denona and the Pat McGrath, and even the Steeler. I mean, look at those on my arm. Look how pretty and unique. Look at the glitter and the shine and the dimension in them, and oh, so pretty. I absolutely love eyeshadow. Those Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, definitely. Yeah, if I could only recommend one palette to you, I'd definitely try one of those, because You'll never be disappointed. They're just fail-proof, they are idiot-proof, they are such easy palettes for anybody to work with, and yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching my video, and I will post back soon with the ones that I don't want if you want to do a giveaway. Thanks for watching. Bye.